Okay guys, Keon here, and this is kind of an unexpected result. So I was honestly, with Shenmue, I was honestly about to pack up and move on and just say this game is too fucked up. Um, it's not worth the trouble. But then my brain started cranking some more and just started thinking, how can I break this down? What kind of experiments could I do to kind of validate exactly what the hell is going on? And since we have the right and left hand here, and pretty much none of the data is filled in, that actually gives us a pretty good opportunity to isolate this and then figure out what's going on. So I did some experiments, and I'm going to show them to you now. So first things first, so we've isolated the base position and then left and right hand positions. So as we walk, the right and left hands move, and my computer is a pile of crap potato, and that's why the recording is slow. My apologies for that. So what we have here is we have a script that we can tell it what we want the animation to do. So what we want the animation to do is we want to just remove both of the pair values. So what we can do here is we can just say only read from the single keyframe, only read from here, or read from everything, but only push back to the stack this one, and then don't do the pair values. And we can just do that, and we can go ahead and run it, and we can come back here, and we can load that save state that we've edited, and something weird happens. Although we would expect something weird to happen, but something unpredicted happened. So the keyframes for the hand are -26 and 2.5, or -0.26 and 0.25. And so since this is the X, this is on the left side, and since this is the right, this is on the right side. So what's actually happening is what we're looking at is the Z value, and the Z value ends up just being 0. So rather than one hand going forward, one hand going backward, just the Z index for both of the hands are 0, and that's why as you're walking, the hands just go backwards, because it's going towards the Z position, which is towards the base, which is behind you. So I was thinking that they since these were the only keyframes being read, I thought that they might have done something like swap the X and the Z position or something like that, but that's not the case. It looks like X Z is Z and Y is Y. So that's one interesting example from this. So we can do another thing where we can just say, okay, well, okay, if the pair values have something to do with how the animation is moving, then let's go ahead and take a look at the pair values. But let's do something a little different. When we push the pair values, let's push back AA, so that it's reading the same value every time each frame. And then let's go ahead and read that. Node motion. And then load the state. So we're back here. And this is where something weird really starts happening. Okay, so if you notice, the hands go in one direction, back and forth, and then they kind of stop, and then they cut and jerk back to the same position again. So the hands aren't swinging back and forth. There's one back and forth swing, and then they jerk back to their reverse position. Now, if we do BB, then something else might actually happen. And let's go ahead and give this a try. And it just kind of jerks back and forth. So what I think is going on with this is since the game has a reciprocating, I'm trying to use big words, I'm just kind of too stupid to do that. Since the game has a repeating animation, I think that there's a positive animation and a negative animation where it does a forward swing and then it does a backward swing. So this looks like, the B version looks like the backward swing for the hands. So if we kind of go back and look at these values again, we notice that this is the second value for this is -26. The second value for this is -25. The second value for this is -25. The second value for this is -26. So basically, this is just basically -26 the entire time. It's to be on the left side, and then this is 0.93 for the second value, 0.93 for the second value, 0.93 for the second value, 0.94 for the second value, 0.96 for the second value. So this is basically about waist level, because Rio is about, it's done in meters, so 0.93 meters, that would just be about crotch level, to be frank about that. So this is right about crotch level, which seems to be about where his hands are normally would be around. So it looks like the second value for that is the Y value. And then this, it's kind of hard to read the Z values for the animations, because as the body's moving forward, the hands are going to be moving back and forth along with that. So it looks like the second value for these could just be the keyframe value, and then there's no easing. It's just linear interpolation, and then the pair values are just a matter of how they interpret the data. So the pair data is actually just the keyframe data, and there is no easing information. The easing information is just how the game eases, and it might have a spline or it might have a linear function, but the easing is just how the game decides to ease it, and not necessarily in the game, unless that's one of these two values. So yeah, it looks like we can just use the second pair value. Just looks like the keyframe value, and it could just be for the first repetition of the animation, second repetition of the animation. How does it work out? So yeah, that's that. This was kind of a surprising, unexpected result, because I just thought that animations are animations. You play through the animation, but it looks like the game has something where it just reads the... Look, I'm at a loss for words, because this is honestly just goddamn retarded. So that's it for this video. My brain is mind fucked enough. Fuck you, Shenmue. Yeah, that's it for this video. God bless you all. Bye.